If you notice me looking back down at the paper, that's what I'm doing. Looking at paper.
Let's go.
I have a science video to prepare. No, I have prepared, but I have to make. So, I will be explaining to you. I can't zoom. I will explain to you bones. So, this is my video.
Saved me.
I will be following the list my teacher provided me, and later on I will draw a photo and add it in through high-tech Spy Kid editing. So for now, I'm just going to assume I've added something above. We do have a volunteer to help. This is Freddy. He's a little shy, so put a mask on him. Also, you know, code. Screw that. We're not following the order because I'm not starting with this one is so stupid. I'm not starting with the orders. The first one I have on here is so dumb. No. Ha. The radius. Whereabouts is the radius? Assuming that I was too lazy to actually draw a diagram, here's me showing you on my actual body. This is where the radius is, or along here. You can't see through my skin, hopefully. But it's along here. And what's my tip to remember what the radius, where the radius is, where it's located? Well, it's, here, I'll show you. You're so silly, you silly goose. You're so silly. You silly goose, you goofy goober. I still have the Shrek photo on my screen. I'm staring directly at it as I'm doing this. You see your arms going in a circle, and this would be the radius of the circle when you do that. I'm a nerd. Wow, so cool. Special effects, real time. Following along with that, in the arm category, the humerus, which is... You're gonna help me? Oh, T-pose. The humerus is along here, so the radius is here. The humerus is there. You know, when you hit your elbow, we call it the funny bone. And when you hit your elbow, the pain goes up your arm. And what's another word for funny? Humerus. Allow me to demonstrate. Freddy here is sitting and accidentally bumps into my comedically large clothespin. He has bumped into my comedically large clothespin. He is in agony. He goes, "Ow, I hurt my funny bone. Ow." I think he's dead, so just gonna. This is, ow, Ow, I hurt my funny bone. It's going up my arm. Funny? Well, that's not very funny. But funny, humorous. What would I do without remembering the proper medical term through this very fun and unique learning style? Shut up. You see what I did there? It's funny. The pubis bone. Yeah, that was a bonus marks one anyway, so we're just gonna, if you haven't figured it out. Femur. Femur is the bone that is most prominent bone in your thigh. So what I think of is in movies when they go through the whole fever dream sequence, which is my favorite, I love it. I think of how It's really hard to maintain balance when that happens, and makes me think they have weak legs, and it's like you can't stand if your thigh and your femur and such have given out. And it rhymes with fever and femur, they rhyme. So here's my impression of a fever dream. I have decided not to move the camera. I will add it in later. I'm gonna forget to add it in. It's mandible, which is the thing I was originally going to open with. Mandible is here. I think of the chin. I think of here specifically, which is in the center of the chin. I think of a cleft chin when I think of the center. A cleft chin is kind of like a permanent dimple, if that makes sense. Like dimples, cleft chins are usually more of a masculine feature. I don't know the statistics, but like in shows and stuff, you see a lot more people who have cleft chins as guys, like Superman and Superboy and everyone else. I think of like a mandible, and then it's like mandible. The clavicle, which is like the collarbones and such. I have the maturity level of a 12-year-old boy, okay, but like trust the process. When someone is showing you their cleavage, they tend to lean forwards, like, oh, I'm not doing it, but they tend to lean forwards, and you see a lot of their collarbone, which is, you know, the clavicle, and cleavage and clavicle have a lot of similar letters. Yeah. The tibia. What's the tibia, you may be asking? That's why I'm here. I'm going to tell you what the tibia is, because that's what I said I would do. The tibia is the bone that's here in the leg. When I try to remember tibia, I think of Activia, which is a drink. So Activia has the word active in it. Conspiracy theory. When I think of Activia, I think of running. What do you need in your leg to be able to run? Besides your leg, you need your bones. And what kind of bone would you need? Tibia. And tibia, Activia, they kind of rhyme. Sternum. I think of when someone speaks sternly, it's like it comes from their center. When someone is speaking sternly, sometimes they put their hand to their center like this and will be like, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. I should probably explain where the sternum is. Yeah, as you can see here, his chest, is right here. He has his little ribs on these sides, and in the center of the ribs, between where the breasts would be, is the sternum. So that's that. Oh, that's all the fun ones. Oh, right, how could I forget pelvis? Pelvis is, yeah. We have 24 ribs. Also, ribs are also useful because they can keep in our vital organs such as our heart and our lungs. The cranium has the brainium. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. For cranium, I couldn't really think of anything to put as a way to remember it. That's enough to remember it. Stop. I just told myself to stop because cranial bones. The cranium is it has cranial bones in it. The scapula is your shoulder blades, right? We call it our shoulder blades. And what's the type of blade? A scalpel. Scapula. Ulna. Fun fact, it's right next to the radius. It articulates with the humerus, apparently. Moving on, the patella. Your patella is your kneecap. I think of when you're about to go on your knees to do something, like to clean, for example. You pat down the area first with maybe some padding or something, but you pat down the area. It's like patella. My brain is humongous inside my cranium. Where is the fibula? Fibula, much like the ulna is next to the radius, fibula is next to the tibia. They rhyme, so that's a good way to remember it. I am fibbing when I say I can run. And I need that part of my leg to be able to run anyway. And it rhymes with tibia, so that's a way to remember it. I am on the verge of being a cripple. That's all the mandatory ones I had to do, so maybe while I'm editing it, I'll think of other stuff. But if that's not the case, I hope this works. Good night.
Let's go. Back in the middle.